Alright, so I saw a comment on my most recent video, the Rubik's Cube one, asking how I made that in Blender and for a tutorial. So this is that tutorial. First things first, you want to obviously have Blender. It's completely free. So once you get it, just open it up and your screen should look like this. You can just click anywhere off of that. And then we have our cube right here. This cube right here is going to be the basis for all 8 of the cubes that make up the full Rubik's Cube. So the first thing we're going to do is just duplicate that cube, and then we're going to move it along the Y exactly 2 spaces like that. And then we can duplicate both of these like this and move it along the X 2 spaces down like that. And that gives us the bottom of our cube. Then we can duplicate all 4 of these and bring them up 2 steps on the Z like that. And bang, we have our cube, sort of. One thing you'll notice is it doesn't really have the sides with the colors. And the way you want to make that is by just taking one of these cubes, duplicating it, and scaling it down 1 tick maybe. And then instead of grabbing it and moving it along the X out like that, that's too imprecise and trying to get it to move over a tick. Obviously that's not what a sticker looks like. It's sticking way out. So you want to go over here and edit the location. So 0.15 should work nicely to give you a sticker sort of feel. So then once we get that, we can just duplicate it and then move it over 2 steps on the Y to get another sticker there. And then select both of these, duplicate it, move it 2 steps down on the Z, and boom, we've got one side that has stickers on it. So the best way to make the stickers for other sides is to simply duplicate one of these stickers, and then we can go over here and we're gonna again change these locations. So set the location X to 0, and then if we're gonna do this face next, this is on the negative Y, so we want to make this Y minus 2.15 to match the length that the stickers are out on the other side. And then we can just sort of rinse and repeat what we did before, like that. And then drag these down on the Z2 like that. And then boom, we've got another side. And now we just have to do these for all of the remaining sides. So the next bit is to add some color to these cubes, because you can see if we go to material preview, they're all just white. They don't have any color. So we actually want to give these stickers colors that correspond to an actual Rubik's Cube. So the way I recommend to do that is just to pull an image of a 2x2 Rubik's Cube off of, I don't know, a Google image search or whatever you use, and just drag and drop that right into Blender. Alright, so once you get your image, like I said, you can just drop it in like that, and then we're just gonna clear the rotation real quick, and then just set it up however you want. Okay, so that gives us a good look at these 3 faces here, but I will need another image later for these three faces, again, just to make sure we get the right colors. Alright, so for the first step of adding color here, we're just gonna go and click each one of these, and you can see I already have a black material saved. And we're just gonna click all of these larger cubes and make them this darker, like black color. Alright, so once you finish with that, it should look pretty much like this, where you have all of the like sticker spaces are white, and the background should be all black. So the next bit is actually adding color to these stickers. So we're essentially just going to do that the same way. We're going to add a new material, go to base color, and this one is meant to be red. Once you have your nice red color, you can just go through and apply it to all of these. Alright, now that we have that red side finished, we can just move on to coloring the other sides of the cube, exactly how we did the red side. Okay, so now you can see I have these three sides done, and what I'm going to do now is get a picture of what the other three sides look like. Alright, so I found an even better picture that I honestly wish I would have had last time, because this has all of the sides like this laid out flat. Yeah, this one's kind of perfect. So I just reference this to do the last few sides. Okay, so now you can see that I have finished all the sides of the cube, and yours should look pretty similar. Now I recommend just taking the whole thing, yeah, all of it, and then literally just scaling it down quite a bit, because that should cut down on render time. And then you just need to move your camera. That looks pretty good to me. And now we want to get the lighting right, so you can switch to rendered view. I recommend using an area light instead. And then once you get one light down, you probably want to just add another one and sort of put it opposite your other light. And that way the whole cube can kind of get lit up and you don't really get too much of a super dark shadow anywhere. So once you got the lighting sort of how you want it, so for me I think that looks pretty good. Now we're ready to start actually animating the turning of the cube. So what I recommend doing is, for the time being, just hiding those those light objects, and then go into material preview, and from here is where we can make the cube spin. So first things first, you want to set some parents. So we're going to select all of these smaller stickers on one of these cubes, and then finally the largest cube, and we're just going to set this as a parent with object keep transform, like that. And you just want to go through and do that to every single one of these. And as you're doing this, just make sure you're always clicking the bigger cube last. Otherwise, you might get some interesting results with the movement. So once you're done, if you just want to check to make sure you set everything to your parent, you should see this little symbol with a 3 next to all of these cubes, and that's how you should know that everything has a parent. So now we are ready to start actually animating this. So to make one side spin, you just want to select that entire side, and then I like to sort of spin it, make sure you've selected everything. And then we want to pull this up a little bit, and then you can go to wherever you want the animation to actually start, and then just click insert keyframe here, go to the next bit, and then if you just rotate the whole thing 90 and then add a keyframe, you get this weird look in the movement where it sort of scrunches together in the middle of those 2 keyframes. And the best way I found to prevent this from happening, take this with a grain of salt because I'm also a beginner with Blender, so this might not be the best way to do it, but it certainly worked fine for me. So the way that worked for me was to just start by rotating it just 45, then insert a keyframe, and then go further, and then rotate it the rest of the 45, and then insert a keyframe. And that will sort of keep that scrunching from happening. It still happens a little bit, but when you're playing the animation, it's not really noticeable. And then you just kind of want to do that with every turn you want to make. And there you go, you've got this really smooth movement. When I play it, this is what it looks like. You can also make this faster by just making these like closer together. So the way I did my animation is first by just rotating these randomly and just completely scrambling it. And then I actually went to YouTube and looked up a tutorial on how to solve a 2x2 Rubik's Cube, and basically just followed that tutorial and animated it as I went. And when you're done with the animation, just make sure to unhide those light objects like that. And then I usually go here and then make sure it's on Eevee. That's what I like to use. You can also use cycles if you want, but I use Eevee. And then you can go here to output, and then you can pick just a file wherever you want that to go. Yeah, so I usually just use this videos output here, accept, and then change the media type from image to video, like that. And then you can go to render animation, and this could take a little while depending on how good your computer is. It's just kind of, it's unfortunately just relies on that, on your computing power. And you'll see there's the first turn right there. But once it finishes, you should be able to see it and watch the video as a full animation. Alright, so whenever it's finished, you should be able to see it in whatever file you saved it to. So mine is videos, and right here it just labels it whatever frames you used for some reason. I don't know why Blender does that, but yeah, there's the animation. I didn't do obviously as many turns that were in my first one, but yeah, that's how you do it. Once again, just like comment if there was anything that I did wrong in this video. Please let me know. Like I said, I'm also still a beginner, so I would love to know if you guys have any tips to do something I did that's just an easier way of doing it. So thanks for watching, and bye.